And they're going to be using that as a pressure pick against either the Hayabusa or the Joy. I think ONIC will want to surprise and consider picking up the Fredrin. Not the biggest strength of ONIC and King Kong. But if it's not that, then yeah, they're just stuck with the Joy or Hayabusa.
They might need to rush mid.
Yeah. No, Hayabusa.
Uh-oh. So by exposing the pick on King Kong and conceding to the fact that they're not very good with utility junglers, I expect Falcons to attack choices on Super Friends now.
Yeah.
Because so far, Kalia doesn't have a good combo yet.
They 100% need to respect ban the Kagura. And then
Farsa.
we save the Farsa.
Or Lo Yi. So I think
Farsa, Lo Yi, Eve are all options.
ONIC are giving Falcons here the catch-22. It's like, you pick one of these, or you just give us all of these.
Yeah. That can work. Now, for these bans for the second phase, you can see that.
If ONIC ban out the glue, not much is left for Ferds, honestly.
Yeah.
They might even want to consider putting the Ruby in the EXP lane or put an Esmeralda in the EXP lane for Ferds.
Hey, our low is open.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. That went over my head.
Yeah, since Phoveus is banned out, like it's ripe pickings for Arlet.
That's so much crowd control, too. You know?
Yeah.
Having the Arlot with the Ruby.
So you're saying Ruby Gold or Roam then?
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting a Ruby EXP on this one. Part of me still says that it could still happen. So Falcons are taking away the potential options for Kelra. With the Matrix taken out, I think they also need to take the Moskov. This is going to be a dive-heavy lineup. Good ban.
Spotted.
Ban.
But Falcons will still have a glue available for them. Okay, they take out the Harith instead. Makes sense. Very fair. I think Ferds will just be stuck with a slower glue pickup or an Esmeralda. This is probably going to be a Kagura, Lo Yi that you brought up also are all going to be very good options considering they're dive heavy. I think those are my top two right now.
Kagura.
Has Farsa really fallen off?
Yeah, I was going to say, is Farsa just in a weird position now? Where you don't even get to utilize the Feathered Airstrike as much?
I think considering that Falcons could still pick up a glue, they might be hesitant to bring that up. Because that could be their EXP lane pick. Again, it's going to be slower, but then you need a little bit more tankier presence to really just hold the EXP lane. The damage profile of ONIC also doesn't look too good with handling a Uranus EXP lane. And it still might be an option.
Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah, there, Kagura.
There's the Kagura. So that seems to be the case. Little smile there from Super Friends, too. But yeah, I like so far what ONIC has. I think that last pick, though, especially for that gold lane, like what is the gold lane going to be? The matchup there, I think this is really going to tell us what Team Falcons has planned, too, based on their last picks.
It could be Glue, Esme. You can't go Badang here if you're ONIC. You also need the gold laner. They might just have to settle for a Moskov for Super Marco if it's not going to be a gold lane Ruby. I think it is already. Oh, they're Esme as expected. Wow. Better than the Ruby, pretty much.
Pretty on point, man.
Pretty on point today.
Oh, so it is gold lane Ruby.
Ah, okay.
So gold lane Ruby.
Forgot about the Gotcha.
When was the last time you saw Super Marco play gold lane Ruby?
I'll tell you now, maybe never.
I literally cannot recall bulletproof Super Marco playing Ruby, man.
I struggle to recall, if ever. If it happened, it was a day when I wasn't on broadcast.
It had to be one of those days, if it was the case. But
chat, call us out.
Yeah, let us know, chat. This last pick though for gold lane for Kalra, then does he just go Moskov or a Granger?
Moskov, Granger, Bruno
perhaps.
Three.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for too long.
Carry.
Huh? I would think that they pick up a carry if they were playing a glue. But this also makes sense. They need a little bit stronger damage. That's why I also suggested the Bruno, because strong, chunky crit.
Yeah.
But this time they decided to go for true damage, which also makes sense because I also wanted them to have very fast basic attack with good damage. Claude takes a while for that. Carry goes faster.
It's just another take on the Kaka combo. Carry Kaja, carry Kalia.
Oh, you're right.
Carry Kaja.
Yeah, we saw it already once today.
Kaka combo. Man, that's very fitting.
It's poetic. I'm eloquent like that.
It's kind of like it's a poem in itself.
Yeah, and based off of my reaction earlier, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Onyx draft here because this...
The Kaka.
Kaka.
Kalia carry.
Kalia
Goes
carry.
so
can
much
even
better
go-
for ONIC.
You can even go Kalia carry Kagura.
If I don't hear a sound effect in this one, Mr. Dan, I don't know.
You're barking on the wrong tree.
Sorry,
This guy makes a sound
my bad.
effect.
That's supposed to be from Renmar.
It's not me. It's never been me.
Welcome.
Let us
to
know what you
Mobile
guys
Legends.
think. Are we going to see a sweep here for the Super Fam, or will Team Falcons take us to a Game 3? We're jumping in to Game 2.
Okay, this is very demanding for Falcons. They need to really pull this off, because if not, Kelra is just gonna scale uncontrollably, and by the late game, they will not have the right damage
Kyle
profile.
Teasy looking to get a lot of damage on Brusco. Sent him home.
Good aggression and poke.
Super
Few-
Prince, wow, so aggressive.
Yeah. Few tried to predict Super Prince going back a little bit earlier, but Super Prince waited for the Abyssal Arrow to go out. Shows where he's at in terms of his mindset going up against, well, the pick that he was able to shine with earlier. Kelra, of course, understandably, giving Super Marco a lot of difficulty in lane.
Oh! Super Prince goes for the Umbrella Rush. Puts himself out of harm's way. That was crazy.
Yeah, he didn't even need to burn the flicker either. So one of the things here is that we've seen so much Kagura pop up now that, you know, you're seeing some of the masters at work. But also, don't forget to buy your tickets, everybody. We got a super fan early Pumasco promo. That's our early Christmas gift for everybody. Limited time only. Promo runs shortly into September. So grab it while you can and join us here in the MPL Philippine Arena.
All right. See if you and Hogan are really trying to up the tempo. They're trying to play to show that, you know, they've woken up. King Kong already level 4. Kyle TC just hit level 4 as well. Let's see if they're going to force an issue here.
Okay, nothing too crazy. I think this is one of the games where both lineups just want to go ahead and play into that first turtle. That's always been the focus, too, as we talked about from the Infinix Keys to Victory, in the Howl even, is that first turtle play. I'm wondering how this battle is going to be in the gold lane. You know, Super Marco and that Ruby versus the carry. But ultimately, it's just both teams winning to that level 4 and fight into this first objective.
Ooh, chain CCs set down on the Brusco. Almost sent him home, but that's going to be enough to keep ONIC busy. Falcons secure the first turtle.
Yeah, good approach by Ogun and Few. Again, they're really upping the tempo at the center of the map so that Brusco and Super Prince spends a little bit too much time trying to clear the middle minion wave, that there's no time for them to actually help set up for King Kong to see if they can safely take the turtle or not. Falcons needs to keep this up, but again, at some point they're going to have to shift their attention away from the center of the map towards to where Kelra is. They need to get Super Marco out of lane early so they can pressure King Kong more in the jungle before minute 6.
Yeah, Brusco's not level 4 yet, so as soon as that is available, you can expect them to go ahead and at least push for a play. Oh, Super Prince quite low. Still holding on to that flicker too. Very confident is Super Prince, even at this low HP level.
Tsunami Slam. That's a lot of damage placed on Ogwin and Few. Ogwin pops the Vengeance. Surprise! A different battle spell on this Gatot Gacha. Mountain Shocker reveals everyone. No immediate danger for Falcons. They hold their ground.
Yeah, first being able to get there means that he's dictating the tempo in the EXP lane against Kirk. Again, one of the reasons why we suggested the Esmeralda earlier in the draft is that it does give a lot of difficulty for the Lapu-Lapu in the laning phase, that Kirk will be falling behind in a lot of the major rotations. He might be able to lane well, but in terms of the early map presence, it might lean a little bit more towards Ferds. War Axe already built up for Super Marco, and that should be a signal. Falcons needs to make a rotation towards the top side. They cannot keep continuing to play just around the river. They need to pressure Kelra.
One of the few games here where we don't have that first blood nearing the 4-minute mark. So as both teams just go ahead and play around scaling up in the early game, this is once again one of those situations where a lot of this will be on Brusco to start with. And this is why I was saying, you know, the Kalea eventually is going to want Kirk to go ahead and help, you know, transition into some of that responsibility. But it's up to Brusco to set things up. Now, there is only one Purify this time around, and that's on Ferds. So for a lot of these fights, Brusco should be able to go ahead and get that Tsunami Slam down or that setup that he's looking for.
Good call there for Kelra, by Kelra for playing it safe. Abyssal Arrow will not land. Good zone out there by First, and good info. Great. What First is doing right now is so good for Falcons.
That's a two-man, man-to-man defense by the Wild
Brusco.
One. In comes Brusco looking for the perfect tsunami slam. Finds his target, setting up the retry steal for King Kong. A trade. Kyle easy for Brusco. I'll take that trade any day. And Kirk pulls in Ogwin, taken down. Nakatoka-cha first, that's in round 3. Few gets taken out. Kelra barely alive. Ferg gets a double. The Wild One is wilding on this one. Kirk got Fergs on him. Super Marco looking to help finish the job. Short range, the remaining members of Falcons, but they're not going to take this line down.
They needed to win that trade in the post-objective team fight because what Brusco and Kirk did there was not the tsunami slam perfectly into the land shaker right at the tip of the animation to catch Kyle Teasy. That's why they weren't able to get that turtle. That's why King Kong was able to get that easily. They needed to, yes, win that trade, but Brusco and Kirk, goodness me, look at that. Tsunami slam. Oh, it already happened. Oh, too bad we weren't able to catch it there in the replay. Whoa, that was a crazy play by Brusco and Kirk, but good thing Falcons were able to trade that out.
Yeah, you got to give it up to Ferds too, man. Able to hold his own, provide so much value on this Esmeralda. This might be that saving grace right now for Team Falcons to stay in this game and hopefully get a lead built up on this.
Mind you, this is still before Kelra and Brusco are online. So these pickoffs will slowly get more lethal for ONIC.
Yeah, part of that too is just, you saw a little glimpse of that when Kelra joined that fight. You know, this carry, especially late game, is going to be devastating. So don't want to control that, but
cheeky.
Yeah, a little steal there. And so for Team Falcons, I think their decision is, where do we go from here? You know, where do we set things up? Do we just focus on these objectives? The last turtle of the game's coming up here in just a bit. You can see already a lot of the focus up on this side of the map. It might break out into a fight.
Whoa. Brusco here, put into his place. Oh, sends over Ogwin. Force him to use the Vengeance. Super Fist throws out the Umbrella. Rush Umbrella free. Underneath, King Kong looking to finish the job. Gets caught by the tail end of the Mount Shaka. King Kong taken out by Kyle.
Woo, quick reaction there by Falcons. I thought King Kong would be able to get the ultimate off in time, but yeah, Mountain Shocker took him, and then Super Marco, the Don't Run Wolf King as well, to just help lock down that Hayabusa and ensure that they get the kill. Falcons, Few and Ogwin have started off the game being aggressive, really setting the tempo, while the rest of Falcons have eased up a little bit. They were patient. They are patient. First, more patient. Kyle, more patient as well.
Yeah, that really paid off to, you know, have that setup, have that Ruby up in that time. Again, a lot of this is to go ahead and catch and stall out King Kong in those trades. So this is going to give Team Falcons a nice little lead to work with leading into that first Lord in about a minute and a half here. So for ONIC Philippines, they have enough time to go ahead and let Kelra farm up, do his thing, Super Prince 2 on this Kogua, but right now Team Falcons has control of the map. It seems to be them pushing ONIC Philippines outside of the push that they want to go for. So right now, Team Falcons, hopefully they can maintain this control. They should be able to do that, especially with Ferds leading that front, allowing Ogwin to just go ahead and jump in on with the AOG as he pleases for this.
2,000 gold lead here for Falcons. Okay, Enchanted Talisman, Dreadnought into the Oracle for Ferds. They use the ultimate on him. Oh, didn't use a Tsunami Slam with the Esme.
They don't want to. I think they know that the Purify's on. Conceal by Brusco.
Bottom side push by Falcons, opening up the map.
They're taking a lot here, and ONIC Philippines is actually not able to find much. Might be just one of those situations where they're playing the long game. You can see here, looking at the items, yes, Kelra's holding it together against Super Marco. He's only got the 2 items. He's got the DHS and the Corrosive Scythe. And over here, even for Super Prince, you know, he's only got that Glowing Wand.
Yeah.
So they definitely need a lot more time to scale up for this lineup to work right now.
Iconic Super Prince build, Rapid Boots.
Yeah.
Not just for the Forest, it's also for the Kagura too. Enchanted Talisman for Few also alongside the Glowing Wand. 2 core items for the Selena means advantage through burst. Few really just needs to clip one person, one combo, and that should already be his job done. Yes, it would be nice if he could chain it together, but at this point, this Selena is going to do a lot of damage. I think out of everyone, Brusco needs to start the tempo with Tsunami.
He has no choice. Gets hit with I'm offended. Gets hit Tsunami Slam, and then Ogwen right in the middle of everyone. Defensive AOG. King Kong backline. Few gets caught with a shadow kill. That's one. Taken down again. Falcons, 2 out. ONIC are in control here. Birds cannot catch a break. His antics in that prior team fight's no longer working. Brusco engages on the Kyle Teasy. Birds looking to get some damage on the 4 here. Make that 5. King Kong secures the Lord with the help of Kelra. Mount the Shocker may be too late.
Yeah.
Great team fight.
Great team fight, no damage for Falcons. Super Marco going down early, and despite all of the efforts of Falcons, they still feel like they are really lacking in damage. If they have at least just one guy down, Kyle Teasy is not enough to dish out the damage that Falcons needs. While ONIC, good thing Kelder was actually able to dodge the initiation of Ogwen when that team fight was engaged on by Super Marco initially with the ultimate. Brusco then answered with a Tsunami Slam. Ogwen went straight to the back line to try and pin Keller down with a taunt, but then he was able to get away from it. And the fact that the other members of Falcons were too far meant that Keller was able to free hit.
Oh, the engage and the answer. Kirk gets taken down after the ammo offended, but King Kong smooth with a shadow in and out, traded for Few.
Yep, be a trade there. Still fighting for their space now for ONIC. Again, playing into this Lord. They'll get the tier 2 there, trying to work on the tier 1 in the mid and put pressure on the other side of the map. But still, Team Falcons relatively healthy and durable with this lineup. Will hold on to the tier 1 despite ONIC having that Lord to push with.
And ONIC can honestly just keep this up. They have great control of the map. Both teams still have their towers, but with how ONIC are positioned right now, it is them dictating the tempo. Falcons are going to have to play around Few getting someone with an arrow. I think Ferds needs to hold the front line now while Ogwen is actually the one.
Tsunami Slam finds Few, compromises him. Look at the side here. Kirk versus Ferds. Few for Brusco. That's another beneficial trade. AOG from Ogwen. Keller firing away Ferds.
Oh no.
Pushed him back. And look at this. King Kong going to hunting. Compromising Kyle D's positioning. ONIC are calling the shots here, even with that singular trade. Falcons can't fight back, not the way they want to.
Yeah, they're pushing and pulling between ONIC Philippines, and I gotta say, yes, they're losing some, but at this point, Few doesn't have much of a choice just because King Kong can go towards that back angle and find him. So that's gonna be difficult for Few, and now for Team Falcons, they're the ones, the rest of the team has to step up and catch the right members of ONIC Philippines. But so far, I would say they're doing a relatively good job at maintaining that.
Both junglers right now have their core, 3 core items. Hunter Strike, BOD, Endless Battle Mirror. Same goes for the Gold Laners, except, of course, it is a Gold Lane Ruby. Super Marco is going for the Winter Crown instead, so that he can survive through the initial salvo that ONIC dishes out. Maybe hope that Falcons will be able to push out and win an exchange, and then once the Winter Crown is gone, that's when ONIC are going to realize, wait a minute, they still have the Ruby. We've spent a lot already, and then Falcons will slowly win the fight through there. But with how ONIC have been playing right now, with them no longer hesitating to initiate the moment they just find someone, it looks good for them.
Ogwen with the conceal. Ferds finds the Falling Star Moon. Prince dodges
Ogwen!
it. AOG from Ogwen. Long haul. Compromised Kelra's positioning. Mountain Shocker gets ahead and taken down Brusco. Few looking to re-engage, throwing out that arrow. Ferds, the Wrath of Kelra. Kirk's gonna fall here. Kark gets taken down. 2 for 1, the trade.
A big trade, King Kong? He got the vengeance out though, so got something out of that. But I don't know, is Team Falcons without Ferds in a position to go ahead and take this Lord?
Ogwen needs to get a little bit healthy, but they are playing around the Ruby Gold lane, so they should be healthy enough, but it's not going to be the easiest of takes. King Kong can still steal this away.
Oh,
Vision.
flushed out of that Y-brush. King Kong tempting fate. Kelra throwing out a wheel. Super Fritz going in. Kyle D secures. And King Kong gets stunned. Super Marco here. Few light wheels. And the rush umbrella switch up. The overturn. Double kill for Fritz. Taking down Kyle. Kelra down for the count. I think Falcons are happy with the outcome of this one.
Let's see if they'll be able to do something with the Lord, though, as ONIC do have 4 members over the 3 of Falcons. And it looks like ONIC will be able to push out forward. The Winter Crown was on point there for Super Marco. He was able
entry. Here, the last engagement, Kelra put him to understand this entry. this whole way in.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of understand the dynamics of these two. Not to mention where Kelra puts himself. Here in the last engagement, Kelra put himself a little too forward.
Maybe that's the struggle with the carry, though, too. You know,
Okay.
some of the range, but that Lord will make its way down bot.
Yeah, ONIC respecting that the timers on Kaltese and Super Marco might be a little bit too close to call for the rest of ONIC to just all group up together and continue to put the pressure on Falcons. They'll allow this to push off in a little bit of a safer area, a little bit closer to their base. They should still be able to complete the charge, though. The minion waves in the mid aren't that completely healthy. I don't think Falcons will have enough time to actually take the tower in mid. Good fight by ONIC.
Brusco finds one. Ferds looking at disincentivize this fight. First taking way too much damage. Oh no, I don't know if he'll survive this, Kurt. He dodges it, sidesteps that bravest fighter.
But look at King Kong.
King Kong looking for the flank. Super Prince closing off these gaps as well. I think the Super Fam have let off.
Yeah, okay. I thought he was just going to go for maybe a sandwich maneuver there, but they get Ogwin. They deal with that Lord. So ONIC Philippines, they'll be happy with that. And it just shows, again, that Team Falcons, you know, even with that push into the base, they don't get much out of it. So eventually they find themselves in the same position where they're going to have to fight for the Lord. But I would expect ONIC Philippines to do what Brusco's been doing. He might just go for a Tsunami Slam and just get a pick off if they can.
Yeah, clearly they're in a much healthier team fighting set to just tell Brusco, dude, whoever you see first, go ahead, and we'll do our best to just win it out. They are, again, playing around the Lapu-Lapu that could eventually end up becoming the frontliner and dish out damage as well to set up for the eventual entry of King Kong, Super Prince, and Kelra into the fight. While for Falcons, again, considering that they're playing around the Ruby gold lane, who is utilizing a Winter Crown as part of the combination, it isn't going to be as easy to fight for Falcons. The thing is, though, fuse damage has been the X factor here. Good conceal, and they have the vision.
Ferds looking for that Falling Star Moon, catches Super Prince, goes for the cleanse. No one home. ONIC dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, so no conceal right now. 20 seconds on that Lord. ONIC Philippines just going to go ahead and play this macro game. Defensive items coming into play too. So now Kelra's got his Wind of Nature available. Super Friends has some extra shield and movement speed to work with now too. And there you go. Even the Sea Halberd being picked up by King Kong.
Trying to look at the items here to see if Ferds already has a blade armor. I don't think so. You go for the BFB Oracle Dreadnought. All right, continue playing the map. Yeah, okay, it's a Winter Crown for Ferds. Okay, interesting. Roam Boots all aside so that they could potentially get the bonus. One of the EXP so that Ogwin can catch up. Good start here for ONIC for this Lord.
Yep, half health on this one. Kelra will go ahead and continue it on. Falcons, we'll see what they do with this. If they plan to conceal again.
In comes the Tsunami Slam. Super Marco is out of the equation. In comes Kirk and the rest of the Super Fam. Few put down about 1 HP. Now Ogwin gets popped here. His immortality able to save him. AOG out, but Ferds falls. And oh my god, how did Brusco find you? Made a beeline for the Roamer. Pushing through tier 2, they can smell blood in the water.
Are they going to push it in? They know they have an advantage.
Oh, can Kyle and Ogwin defend? They've got a big minion wave coming through. King Kong from the back, Mountain Shocker, Brusco and Ogwin pop their immortalities. There's still the siege minion. It's just Kyle. The base gets taken down. ONIC with a sweep.
The Super Fam will make it happen in a sweep. And the Falcons still looking for flight.